Good afternoon. This is Sharon from the House of Prayer, bringing you a prophecy given to Bertha Dudde on December the 7th, 1950, entitled Spiritual Action. A significant spiritual course of action will occur which will make people reflect on issues relating to the approaching end. Since something will take place that was predicted by seers and prophets a long time ago, these prophecies are quite evidently fulfilling themselves, and people are starting to take notice. For then they will pay heed to all signs, because they will begin to believe that the end is near. The spiritual action will have an earthly effect, albeit one originating from the spiritual kingdom. Hence, beings of light are engaged to bring humanity to its senses. The purely worldly minded person will see nothing but a natural event, which by chance has affected people who are the focal point of spiritual activity. But anyone who considers that nothing ever happens by chance will hesitate and recognize a sign which points to the approaching end. For God's reign and work is clearly visible. It is not people who manifest their will by implementing God-opposing actions, but instead a distinct power can be identified which wants to emphatically express itself. This fact and the way it manifests itself will make people think, and depending on their spiritual maturity and attitude, they will be more or less impressed by the event. The predictions of seers and prophets are fulfilling themselves, and the powers of heaven shall move. All spiritual beings are participating and decisively intervening in world events, because the time has come of which it is written, "The sun will lose its shine," i.e., the glory will fade, which wrongly shone long enough, because ignorant people allowed themselves to be dazzled without objection. But then a light will shine from above, and everything wrong cannot endure its radiance. But the light will emerge from the shadow of death. That is, it will only ablaze by light after a sick and decaying body has expired. Then nothing new will arise from the old, and many people will become enlightened. They will pay attention to the signs of the time and regard everything that happens on the earth as God's will or permission. Heaven and earth will unite for the purpose of bringing light to people who live in the darkness. And even if it is people's own fault that they live in the darkness, they will nevertheless be noticeably helped, so that they will be able to recognize God's might if they are observant and look for the light. Amen. Malachi chapter 4, verses 5 through 6. Behold, I am going to send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and terrible day of the Lord. He will restore the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, so that I will not come and smite the land with a curse. Mark chapter 13, verse 19. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation which God created unto this time, neither shall be. Luke chapter 21, verses 25 through 28. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your hands, because your redemption is drawing near.